Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition, and then we will also end with a little bit of security news, couple data breaches to be aware of. And so first we have a couple of updates. First, WhatsApp clarifies it's not giving all of your data to Facebook after a huge surge in Signal and Telegram users. Of course, I did hear today, I'm not sure if it's super reliable information, that Signal and Telegram are next on the chopping block. They just don't like the fact that there's, secret messaging apps that are not tied to the big companies. And so that's interesting. Although I might ban Telegram soon here if it has one more crazy oofies, because they've had a couple in the last couple of weeks. Of course, Signal jumped up, maybe not necessarily because of this WhatsApp thing, because nobody reads the terms of service anyway. Signal jumped because Elon Musk said, hey guys, check out Signal. And so, that's what's behind that. But they published this nice little infogram to their site, and somebody commented on this very well. It might have been either this Verge article or maybe the next one's also a brief little update to this. It was one of these two articles that said, more than what it doesn't share, more than what this does say, it's much more important what it doesn't say. They're basically come back saying, hey, this has been in there for a while. We're just finally disclosing it. It's not really sharing any data. But what it is doing is it is sharing tons of metadata. They don't have metadata on this little infograph. The metadata is really what some of the most important information is. So yes, while they cannot read your messages allegedly, and you can set your messages to disappear from your view anyway, they're like, oh, it doesn't see your shared location. Neither can Facebook. Groups remain private, all this kind of stuff. This stuff was never in question. This was never the debate. The question was about the metadata. My biggest concern about this is if some fool, because they use Facebook, Facebook's awesome, you should get WhatsApp, and they have my contact in their phone attached to my name, Facebook will harvest that data, and not only will WhatsApp have it, but Facebook will also have it. That is explicitly in the terms of service. Explicitly on their website. That is the big concern, because I'm not using WhatsApp. I'm not choosing the WhatsApp, and I don't want that data associated in any way, shape, or form with Facebook and or WhatsApp. But I can't go around to everybody's phone that I might have casually bumped into once or twice and demand that they remove my contact from their phone if they have WhatsApp on it. That's unreasonable. And so that is what my biggest thing is. And notice that the infograph has nothing to do with that. But anyway, they basically come out because everyone's like jumping off WhatsApp, and now they're like, oh, but it has a lot more to do with a lot of other stuff going on in the world, though. So we have another one. Facebook tells WhatsApp users its data collection isn't too bad. I mean, once again, just two different articles on the same thing. I included both of them there just for completion, one from the WhatsApp side and one for the Facebook side. Let's have an update to Big Sur. This is 11.2 Beta 2. Removes the filter that allows Apple apps to bypass third-party firewalls. So this was one of the big deals when Big Sur came out. The big deal in Big Sur, as it were. I feel like I need some green eggs and ham here, right? The Big Sur, as it were. And Sam, I am. So the problem is that if you had a third-party firewall, Apple apps would bypass that firewall. Well, they're apparently removing this. At least it's in the beta. So this is good news for you guys on Apple products looking to utilize your firewalls. So this is good. Hopefully that it actually does make its way into the final product and stuff. And so you guys using Apple out there will have a little bit of that. And now I believe we start the new news for the week in the privacy world. That's half of our news programs updates. That's all right, though. We need some updates. New York City proposes regulating algorithms used in hiring. This is exciting, right? So the bill would require firms to disclose when they use the software asked to assess the candidates. I read through this whole thing. I'm like, you know what's completely lacking? Any information about these algorithms. Because this is really what ties into that tinfoil hat edition from last week, is that there's so much data being collected. Are these algorithms just utilizing protected class systems like race and gender or sexual preference? Or are they actually utilizing a lot of other tips and tools and things like that? And the fact of the matter is, the way Silicon Valley works, It does not surprise me to know that they're scouring social media. They're looking for connections. They're looking at other things. Maybe they are looking at political viewpoints in addition to other things, and they're choosing a hiring or firing decision based upon that. That type of thing would not surprise me in the slightest. And that in and of itself is one of the problems. So while they're coming out and saying, they're not saying, hey, you can't use it. All this law says, it is the most useless law in the world. All it says is, hey, if you're using these algorithms, you just have to tell people about it. Thank you, New York. That's just so useful information that I now have to tell people about the algorithms I use. What's in the algorithm? Oh, don't worry about it. We're just using an algorithm. See, we've complied to the law. So I have no idea. But really right now, nothing New York is doing is making any sense. So hey, it's par for the course. I mean, you give a Grammy and an Emmy and awards to the guy who has the highest COVID death rate, and you call him the model for what to do. That's kind of insane. Right. LinkSys, this is sort of an update, but in a continuation. We talked about this LinkSys mesh router motion tracking system. This makes me never want to touch LinkSys products again. If you remember this crazy psychopathic dystopian thing, you put the router in your house and utilizing where and how the signals function and go back and forth, it kind of is able to determine where you are in the house. So it can detect motion all over. Well, they're upgrading it to be able to attach the mesh network to other smart home gadgets who can also report any deviances that they notice in the mesh networks. And so they can get a clearer, more accurate picture of who is moving in your house and when and where. People, think about that. Your devices are keeping a log of all motion inside of your house at all times and feeding this data to third parties. Does it not cross your mind that this is somewhat of a dangerous thing to do? Just holy moly, that's insane, guys. So this is, of course, the LinkSys Aware. Hey, Dave, you can't come in here. So, I mean, this is kind of crazy. This really is kind of crazy. And so they're tying into other things. Here's a little bit of the reports. So, look at this. Here's the Apple TV and the Office Node. They're detecting motion. Whoa, look at this. We can see who's moving. Oh, here's the motion tracking. Here's Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. All these pretty and cool graphs that now these third-party countries have that other people can actually get in there and see. And so the hacker can look at this and go, oh, okay. So you see there's really no movement in the house between 2 and 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. Looks like the perfect time to burglarize this place. Guys, this is insane. This is insane. If you think that this is cool technology that you need to put into your house, you need a checkup from the neck up. I'm sorry, my friends, but that's insane. Oh, we get yet another fitness tracker to feed all of our health data into the global cabal to be sold to the highest bidding health insurance company. So OnePlus is the next one to be coming out with an affordable fitness tracker. So you can, track your runs and all this kind of stuff and feed all your data to yet another company, with opening the possibility of it all being hacked and stolen and used against you for all sorts of purposes. So there you go, guys. If you're looking for another fitness tracker, there's a good one to avoid. TikTok accounts of younger teens will now be private by default. All minor users will have tighter privacy. I guess this is an okay thing. At least it's okay as far as if your kid's picking up TikTok and having an account. At least they won't be inadvertently sharing their data with all the strangers. They're just going to be sharing it with the Chinese data analytics and AI firm. Yeah, TikTok ByteDance property, not a good service. They might have been sold by now. I don't remember. But the idea here is this made some stink a few weeks back when it was basically said that, they were just basically promoting to make your account a business account. If you were under 13, you were basically making your entire, your minor profile publicly searchable and available to anybody and everybody to see. And so there we have it. So There's that. So now accounts belonging to users between 13 and 15 will be set to private by default starting Wednesday. They will have to manually approve each new follower who can view their videos, the company said. Accounts belonging to younger teens will have the suggest your account to others settings turned off by default, while comments on their videos are only open to people in their friends list. Users between 16 and 17 will see changes to the duet and switch. I have no idea what that means. Two features allow TikTokers to collaborate with each other or mix videos, being limited to friends by default. Platform will only allow the download of videos created by users age 16 and older, with the default settings for users 16, 17 shut off. As far as this goes, these are all good things. So there's a little bit of a false sense of security in this. These are all good steps, and I'll have to say kudos where kudos is, but still, I would not be on TikTok or pretty much any other big social media anyway. So just an FYI there. But I agree that these are good things for the privacy of minors. So there you go. And on to our feature today. This Gizmodo article is a bunch of nonsense, non-factual dribble. But what was important about it is the actual fact that people were able to extract. Now, what they were able to extract as far as location data is when you go out with like Facebook or Twitter and things, and you snap a photo and you upload that photo, Facebook and Twitter, etc., they get all this location data that they can use as they want, but they'll strip the data off of that photo before posting it online. Parler never did that because Parler's actually not well done. It was a couple people who got a good idea and then they just grabbed some software and threw it onto a server and never really looked at it and didn't really know much about what they were doing. And so with that, people could upload the photos, but all of that geolocation data that was inside of images is retained on the site. So anybody that would go on and grab any of those photos, you could grab the photos, you could look at the location data stored on the photos, and then that is available. So this one person is going through and archiving all of these so that people can, basically dox everybody who is conservative and on Parler or whatever else. And why that's not construed as a threat when doxing is technically illegal is so far beyond me. I have no idea, but that's celebrated in our insane backwards clown world. That's what I mean. I could only read about half this article. It was a bunch of nonsense, stupid dribble. But the fact of the matter is, for all you guys using Parler, if you're uploading photos, you are seriously exposing yourself. When Parler gets back online, if Parler gets back online, stop using Parler. Stop using Parler. Okay, there's other alternatives that will probably work better. Or maybe if you are forced to use Parler or whatever else, don't be uploading photos to it unless you are making sure that that location data is turned off by default, which it always should be on your devices anyway. I pulled some photos I pulled off of my phone the other day, and I double checked that. Hey, is that setting turned off? So I pulled down the photos, looked at all the metadata in the photo, and indeed, my phone lineage, hardened lineage, is not actually including any location data with the photos. So I feel nice and confident about what I'm doing, and you should do the same. So if you are going to be uploading to services like this, make sure that you are disabling location data from your camera. Turn that stuff off. There's no earthly reason the camera needs to know your location data. All right. That's like downloading a video game. We need to see all of your contacts and call logs and text messages. Why? Okay, so anyway, that is that. Let's go ahead and talk about my affiliate for today is Pro Writing Aid. If you are into writing or you need some good plugins for software or things like that, you do have Pro Writing Aid as an option. The only big downside is while they do have a LibreOffice plugin, I believe it only works on Windows. I actually use Language Tool for the LibreOffice. I use Pro Writing Aid for the web browser stuff and for a few other things. And it is a really good service, which is privacy from the beginning. You can get 20% off using my code there, tlm.li/PWA. For $20 as a monthly subscription. You can get an annual subscription for $63 or a lifetime for $319. And they do have some services available for free, so go check them out as well and see if you like them before you even buy. So with that, I think we're going to do a couple security articles and then we'll wrap this one up. And on to security news. The first one is for you guys using Ubiquiti routers. Thanks to Quint Berkeley giving us this one. They had a leak in one of the third-party services. This is the danger of third-party services. They're not always all that good. They had a leak in some data, so they're requesting everybody to change the password and enable two-factor authentication because, hey, this is a whole stupid router system for your own local router system that requires a connection to the internet to use. Guys, just get rid of Ubiquiti. If you actually need to get onto the internet to manage your local network settings, it's a stupid device. Okay? I don't care how many bells and whistles it has. You don't need to use the internet to manage a local device. So anyway, there you have it. Change your password, enable two-factor authentication because Ubiquiti did just fine, but a third-party person got on there and screwed some stuff up. Hackers steal the Mimecast certificate used to encrypt customers' Microsoft 365 traffic. How exciting. So this affects, was this about 10% of the M365 customer base? It's basically a reseller. There's all these reseller companies I'm finding. So there's all these reseller companies that have all the M365 accounts. And one of them leaked a whole lot of data. That's about 36,000 Microsoft 365 customers. And they got in there. They were able to encrypt traffic and basically get in there. Anything you could do by stealing somebody's security certificates. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Use local storage. Don't be using online stuff like that. And our last security one is a new Windows 10 update introduces a bug that craps your hard drive when you see a particular file's icon. That's exciting, isn't it? So it is a crucially underestimated NTFS vulnerability. And basically, if you're running NTFS, which most Windows systems are, and you look at this, here it is right here. We can look at it. I'm on Linux Mint. I'm still too scared to do this, even though I'm on Linux right now. But apparently, if you run this little command in here, there's something about it that completely crashes your entire file system and corrupts the entire drive. Way to go, Windows! Once again, we have the most amazing stuff. Watch this, guys. I can just see some coder back there going, I'm going to introduce this really funny bug. It's going to be hilarious because we don't have any QA teams anymore. It'll be really funny. Watch this. And then, of course, half of the world's Windows computers blow up. So if this is you, welcome to Linux. So there's that. Well, if you want to help support the channel, head on over to my Subscribestar page, subscribestar.com/switch2linux. You can help support the channel over there, and you'll get the access to the back-end streams. If I do any more fiction ebooks, you'll go ahead and get those as well. Other benefits and perks there over on Subscribestar. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.